Hello. In this clip from our Justia webinar, Effective Time Management for Attorneys, Chris Early talks about flow state and shares with the audience important tools to leverage time management for both small firms and solo attorneys. If you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
All right, done beats perfect, right? This is like my biggest thing that I can share with you. I talk to lawyers all the time, and lawyers are always concerned, like, well, I don't know, this blog post look right, or is this thing perfect? Like, bang it out, just put it out there, set it out to sea, and see what comes of it, right? This really helped me to become more effective. I'm not, I do a lot of stuff. I write for the ABA, but I don't just spend days and days writing an ABA article. I spend a couple hours and it's done. It's not going to be perfect, right? And that's fine. Like, nothing needs to be perfect. I would encourage you, modify your expectation of what needs to get done in terms of quality. I'm not saying bang out slipshod attorney work. Never going to say that to you. But when it comes to things like growing your practice or getting cases, just done beats perfect. That's really been magnificently instructive and helpful for my career. I can tell you that for sure. These are some tools. I mean, Google Calendar is a very novel, Calendly, CRMs, but whatever tools that you can avail yourself of, I encourage you to. If you're at all intimidated by technology, you can hire someone. We'll talk about some places to hire people who can help you, right? You can hire people out of the country, right? There's so many ways that you can equip yourself to leverage technology. I've met lawyers that don't have case management software. I've met lawyers that, still have a paper calendar. I mean, that's old school. That's got to go, right? Because I've had floods in my office. I mean, if I had, paper calendars or, no case management, I'd be out of business. So really leverage technology. If it's intimidating at all, hire someone to help you. But, just calendaring, blocking things. This I really think is valuable, is empower clients the ability to schedule appointments with you. I know many attorneys on the call probably use something like Calendly. Clients love that. So if they can't reach me on an unscheduled phone call, they can either call the office to schedule a phone call with me, or they can do it through our automated software where they can just select the time of the calendar and have a separate conversation with me. Now, just back to the phone for a second. This is going to save you some time, right? I know what it's like to talk to a client. They're just going on and on and on, and just very, long-winded. If you have a client who is notoriously long-winded, I would encourage you to start the call. Hey, John, just a quick heads up. I've got 7 minutes before my next meeting. What's going on? And you're not being a jerk. You're just asking John to get to the point, because John understands you're a busy lawyer. But if you're spending 30 minutes on the phone each time that you and he talk, he's going to expect you to talk for 30 minutes each time. So get off the phone. If you're willing to do unscheduled phone calls, and you have them on your calendar, don't make them for an hour, and shorten them. Shorten them as much as possible. I almost always, whenever I go into a meeting or a phone call or whatever, I'll always be upfront about what I have after this. I'll say, hey, John, I've got a call in, 15 minutes, or I've got a presentation I'm doing in 10 minutes. Whatever it is, you've got to condense these times, because this is going to allow you to leave the office a lot earlier. I can promise you. All right, team members, right? This isn't all about us as the attorney managing our time. We need to train our team members. Our team members are our gatekeepers. They're the ones who are scheduling the phone calls for me. They are the ones who are handling their own time management, right? I want them to 80-20 their cases too. It's not just Chris Early doing 80-20. This is about my organization doing 80-20. So I just mentioned earlier, I just had a nice meeting with 2 attorneys in my office. I said to them, I expect you guys to coach up your teams to 80-20 their work, because the key to this whole thing is, again, we talk about being productive, but identifying what's busy and what's productive. Your team members should all be focused on doing the 20% as much as possible each and every day. And if they've never heard the 80-20 rule, they may not be sensitive enough to what's busy work, what's productive work. So if you're the law firm owner or you're a manager at the law firm, you need to explain what's productive and what's busy, and be really upfront. and say, this is what the law firm needs, and this is how you can have a less stressful experience here at the law firm by doing the work that's more gratifying, productive. Because at the end of the day, for me and everyone on my team, when we leave the office, when our hand hits the doorknob, I want everyone to feel good that they had a productive day. Because I can tell you, there's nothing worse than just having a crappy day, stressful. You feel like you didn't even get anything done. And I know everyone on this call can relate to that sentiment, right? There's no better feeling than when you leave the office, and leaving the office, say, an hour earlier than we necessarily than we're accustomed to leaving, because we managed our time well that day. It feels really good to know that you left and you got a lot done that day. It just feels a little bit better going home. But I train my team, get off of email. I don't want my team on email. You know, I wish they only checked email once a day, right? I'm not saying disregard clients or, nothing of the sort. Like, I expect within 24 hours you to get back to clients. If they phone, if they call us, or they email us, that doesn't mean we have to be on email all day. So everything that I'm explaining, suggesting to you, it has to be to the team members too, because I'm doing things one way, my team is doing it another way. There's a disconnect, and we're not rowing the same direction. That's what this comes down to for me. But make sure they understand to get off the phone. Like, I know it from experience that clients will just call and talk to the paralegal forever, and that paralegal is getting burnt out on that phone call. They're getting stressed. Emails are piling up. The work, the cases are coming in the door. It's empower that team member to get off the phone. Empower that team member to get out of their inbox as much as possible. Empower them to 80-20 to batch things. That's when really good things happen. I feel like office hours. So I'll make you another guarantee, and that's a guarantee that everyone on this phone, as people just randomly come in, everyone on this phone call, I should say, has people randomly coming into the office. Hey, John, do you have 5 minutes, right? We all have that experience, right? Again, that 5 minutes turns into 45 minutes. So this is something that you can do. And I don't do this all the time, but I need to be better at this. And that is office hours. So literally, even if my door is open, I still have office hours, which means only come to me during a certain amount of time, because this comes down to time blocking. This comes down to calendaring things. So the staff knows. So if you're in the office, right, the staff knows they can't just like randomly come in and out, because that's just kind of chaos, and you're not going to be able to focus and get things done and focus on the 20% of your cases. So you can have office hours where people can just come in to your office certain amount of a segment of the day to ask you questions, and that's going to allow them they're going to be more empowered to take things upon themselves as opposed to ask you for direction. So you're sort of indirectly empowering them to make decisions on their own without coming to you, because they can only come to you in a certain small slice of the day. But those things add up. I mean, this is about, the power of micro movements on the dial. You can either do it in a way that helps your time or that kills your time, right? I'm always trying to twist the dial to improve my time. And this goes a long way to doing that. All right, if you're a solo, the time management is really important, right? We only have so many hours of the day, but if you have no one that's in your office, I think you need to find someone, because again, we said earlier, you're only going to grow to the level at which you can delegate. They say delegate in order to elevate, and I think that's true. So there are so many resources. You could use Fiverr. Fiverr's intentionally, that's how it's actually spelled with 2 R's. Fiverr, Upwork. There's so many people. There's people throughout the world, throughout the globe, that would love to work for you and do the work that you probably don't like doing, that you want to delegate. And so I encourage you to avail yourself of opportunities out there, offshore or in the US, whatever. It doesn't matter where they're sitting, right? In this new economy, they can be anywhere, but there's no shortage of people that want to, somebody that are willing to and want to help you out. But, again, we're talking about delegation. We're talking about being really careful. It just comes down to getting things off your desk. I've had good success with students, right? With, Fiverr and Upwork, even something that's going to take you, even if you think something's going to take you an hour to do, don't do it. Like, let someone else do it. Just get it, again, off your desk. Because that hour that time you just saved can really add up. So I'm always constantly looking at things like, can I stop doing this so I can do more of what actually I enjoy doing in my practice? Here are a couple books I recommend. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy is a really good book. Time Management for Entrepreneurs by Dan Kennedy is a really good book. Eat That Frog basically Brian Tracy saying in the morning, do that thing that you're dreading doing, like first thing in the morning, do that thing that you don't want to do. And once you get that out of the way and you finish that task, you'll feel so much better because you've eaten the frog. Dan Kennedy, I love Dan Kennedy. His books have changed my whole approach to business and management, time management, everything. Time Management for Entrepreneurs, I encourage you to buy today. It's a really good book. He talks about time vampires. That book is a quick read and will completely revolutionize the way you approach your day, your time. You'll be a little more sensitive to how little time we have and that there's a better way to do it. And I did at the beginning of the presentation talk about a free offer, and here it is. I encourage you to scan with your cell phone this QR code. It'll bring you to a page where you can sign up for my early examiner. My early examiner, I write each month a newsletter for us attorneys. I talk shop, I talk marketing, hiring, culture, onboarding, everything to do with running a law firm. I talk about time management, a ton, and it's just delegation. Those things I like to kind of geek out on. So I write for the ABA, as I said, each month. So the early examiner is a newsletter where I'll write a couple of pages and I'll attach my my ABA article of the month to that. So completely free of charge. I do enjoy putting that content out there and hopefully helping the reader to maybe take some ideas from that. Again, I'm a student. I'm just scratching the surface of this stuff. I love this stuff, but I am determined to have a healthy and happy practice. So again, I can be home in time to eat dinner with my family. That's what this comes down to. But I encourage you, click on, make sure you take a picture of that, get on our newsletter. It's a good one. I try to get my best stuff each and every month.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more law practice and legal marketing videos. See you in our next clip.